Met a little girl with a messy little face.
Welcome to the Sagittarius Full Moon on June 2nd. And what a kickoff to June. This is a fabulous full moon. The moon is at 12 degrees Sagittarius. The sun is at almost 12 degrees Gemini. Full moons are oppositions between the sun and the moon. Oppositions bring awarenesses to you from external experiences, situations, and people to heighten your consciousness, expand awareness, and give you insight into any given situation. With the moon in fun-loving, fiery, outgoing, dynamic Sagittarius, this is positive energy. This is about you aiming for the stars. This is about you going for your heart's desire. This is about you following your dreams. The sun in Gemini is fantastic because Gemini is an energy that brings people out. It's about communication, it's about sharing, it's about interest, it's about being interested in multiple subjects. Mars is in Gemini coupled with the sun, and Mercury is in Gemini, still retrograde, coupled with the sun. And they're, of course, opposing the moon. So there's a lot of energy here, a lot of dynamic energy here. With Mars opposing the moon, this is going to give you a lot of energy to get things done. It can empower you to be very clear, even with the Mercury retrograde, and emotionally charged. So you do want to watch out for going to extremes in your emotions and perhaps overreacting to situations that really don't call for it. You know, Mars is the energy planet, and whenever he's involved, it heightens the energy, it heightens the situation, it heightens the dynamic, and people can be acting out from an emotional place that isn't healthy or productive. Be proactive, not reactive. Step back if someone is getting hostile or too charged up, right? You don't want to feed the fire. When you meet energy with the same energy, it just becomes bigger, right? So the answer to war is love, not more war, or being anti-war. You can't be anti-anything, because when you're anti-something, you've now become part of it. That's the law of attraction. And so we want to use this energy to achieve our goals, get things done, and present ourselves in a way that's positive, forward-focused, and very present, being here, in the here and now. All power is in the here and now. The future will take care of itself. The past is history. There's no going back and redoing anything. You want to be fully present. Although Mercury retrograde does allow you to go over things, which is very good. You know, with a Mercury retrograde, this is a wonderful time to do your research. This is a wonderful time to look at your plans, look at your ideas, look at the things you want to take action on after Mercury goes direct. I like to give him a couple of days. So he goes direct on the 11th. You can take it, take action on the 12th. I'd prefer the 13th because on the 12th, Neptune retrogrades. Even though that's a very subtle energy, most of you are very spiritually aware, very aware of the energies, and you will feel this shift in the cosmos where this incredible influence has been taking place in all of our lives. Neptune has been so powerful this year in Pisces. And so having him taking his reverse retrograde June 12th through November 18th is going to give you the opportunity to digest and assimilate everything you've learned from him since last fall when he turned direct last November in 2014. So what have you learned about discernment in your life? What have you learned about spirituality? What have you learned about fantasy? Right? Neptune is fabulous when you're using him in creative functions, when you're using him to swim in the ocean, swim in the water, draw, paint, create. And creativity isn't just what we traditionally think of in, creativity like an artist, a painter, a performer. Creativity is how you use your inner essence to live your life. How you make a sandwich, how you dress, how you talk. Creativity is how you use who you uniquely are in the way that you express yourself. Neptune is majorly involved in this full moon. Neptune is squaring both lights, the sun and the moon. Neptune is at almost 10 degrees and he's direct at the full moon on the 2nd. So fantasy is going to be strong at this full moon. Now, this energy is in here to inspire you, to dream the impossible dream, to go for your dreams, to follow your dreams. That's what Neptune is for. And also to connect you to Creator, to connect you to your source, who you really are, your soul power, your inner being. As challenging as Neptune can be, it is about raising your vibration. When you raise your vibration, you hold more light. When you hold more light, you expand consciousness. When you expand consciousness, you find new solutions to old problems. You find a new way of living. You get out of the way of negative people. You get out of the way of the negative returning karma. You ride the wave of the positive good karma. You understand timing. Timing is everything. You don't take action when the planets are in reverse. For instance, Mercury Retrograde. You see, Mercury Retrograde is a time to rethink, redo, reanalyze. You take action when Mercury goes direct. Now, sometimes we can't do that. And you have to trust your instincts. So if you're getting married under a Mercury retrograde, or you started a new project, or a new relationship, or a new business, follow your instincts. These are general forecasts. Each one of you has your own unique chart, your own unique astrology. If you want to know what the Sagittarius full moon means for you individually, you go to my astrology forecast for June. If you want to read about the Sagittarius full moon, you go to my blog and you can read it there. So Neptune is very much involved in this Sagittarius full moon. You have Neptune square the moon, challenging the sun, challenging Mercury, and challenging Mars. And I talked a lot about this in the May astrology forecast about the challenges of navigating Neptune and some of the pitfalls that we can find ourselves in. It can create this frenetic energy, and you want to be aware of that. You know, is what's really going on? Is this in my mind, or is this really happening? And that can be the challenge with Neptune, because it is such a psychological planet that much of what it's doing is something that you're personally experiencing. It's God reaching out to you saying, I can always show you more. That's why it's important to stay humble. Because we don't know everything. And there's so much going on. There's so many other dimensions going on while we're in this physical dimension here. There's the elemental life dimension. There is the dimension of the sylphs and the gnomes, the fairies, and higher dimensional beings that walk with us. And so we don't want to assume that we know everything that's going on. And that's what Neptune likes to show us, is another dimension that we didn't even think about, another dimension that we weren't even aware of. When you're in Neptune transits like this, it heightens your intuition and your psychic abilities. You can be clairaudient. You can be clear-seeing. You can be incredibly telepathic. You can know things before they happen. It comes from listening. It comes from being quiet. It comes from loving the quiet, loving the peace. When you're in the peace, you are in the vibration of fifth dimension. You're in higher consciousness. And you can be free no matter what's going on in this third dimension. You can be free. You can be in the world and not of it. And Neptune can show you the way. Neptune's not about markers in the world. More money, new car, new relationship, bigger house, bigger car. Those are what the ego marks for success. We were brainwashed into believing that's the measure for success. Neptune doesn't care about any of those things. Neptune wants to evolve your soul. The whole reason you're here is to evolve, for your soul evolution. And so when you're under a major influence of Neptune, and many of you are experiencing this, especially the first 10 degrees folks, the first people born in the first 10 days of Gemini, Sagittarius, Virgo, and Pisces, you have been wrestling with Neptune now for a while. And so for those of you that have already experienced this, you know what I'm talking about. For those of you that are in it right now, you may not even be aware of it. This energy has a way of making you comatose. You think you know what's going on, but you really are not fully comprehending what's happening with you. It's like Creator has you in the palm of her hand, and she's saying, you're mine now. So these things of the world that you think you want, they're inconsequential. They don't matter. What matters is that you come home to me. The whole reason we're here is to go home to Source, back to the great central sun from whence we have come. This is not our home. This is a temporary place that we've come to work out this karma. But we're all starseeds from other home planets. Earth is a crossroads, and it is filled with many life forms, many walks of life, from many civilizations. And so Neptune is expanding your consciousness. And as Neptune expands your consciousness and washes over you, that promotion, that new relationship, that $1 million is not a marker that you can achieve while you are enmeshed in Neptune. Those will still happen. Your dreams can still come true. And I'm not saying not to have the abundant life. Absolutely. What I'm saying is it's not a priority when you're personally experiencing Neptune in your personal transits, in your personal natal chart. That's why it's so important to know your astrology, because your astrology will give you your timing. If you know you're in a major Neptune transit, you can step back and say, okay, over the next 6 months, I'm not going to reach that $1 million. I'm not going to buy that multi-million-dollar house. I'm going to be here. And here is great because I'm spiritually evolving. I'm spiritually advancing. And those things can wait. This is what, gets really challenging for us, is the ego uses money and relationships as markers for our success, that we're actually getting something done down here. I'm getting the next promotion. I'm getting to the next pay raise. I'm getting to the next, relationship, whatever the goal is. Yes, the ego uses those as markers to determine how successful you are as a human being. However, when you have certain transits, even the Pluto-Uranus, if that's going on in with your sun, you're in breakdown. So when you're in breakdown, you don't add more onto your plate. It's a time to solidify your foundation. It's a time to build new structures. It's not a time to take on more. And so this is a very spiritual full moon. It's a fabulous full moon if you can navigate the Neptune. So in other words, if you're wondering if this is my soulmate or am I fantasizing, take a wait and see, right? Do the Jerry Maguire. Show me the money. Don't go by what they promise you. Go by behavior. Go by what's being delivered. In that way, you are empowering yourself to ride the wave, and you're not getting caught up in wishes and desires that may or may not manifest at this time. Now, there's something else happening at this full moon, which is absolutely gorgeous. And there is a grand fire trine off of the moon with Jupiter in Leo, Uranus in Aries, and the moon in Sagittarius. This is gifts being offered to you on a gold platter. All you have to do is breathe, show up, and say yes. Thank you. Thank you is good too. And so There's so much positive energy at this full moon. Jupiter in Leo, which is about expansion and opportunity and romance and fun, creative self-expression. Uranus in Aries, the power of the individual, the power of what happens when you take charge of your life, when you take charge of your destiny, when you are the master of your destiny. All pouring into this beautiful full moon in Sagittarius. What is your truth? What do you know? What do you know? What you know comes from your inner being. It comes from your soul experiences. It comes from your life experiences. What do you believe? We don't get what we want. We get what we believe. What do you believe is possible for you this summer and winter in the Southern Hemisphere? The astrology is for everyone on the planet. And so this is a wonderful energy that's going on all month. This grand fire trine with Jupiter, Uranus, Moon in Sagittarius is happening at the beginning of the month, and it comes back around at the end of the month. We end June with another grand fire trine. This time, Venus is involved. By the end of the month, Venus will be in Leo, sitting with Jupiter. Okay? Those are money planets. Those are planets of prosperity, abundance, love, joy, opportunity. And Uranus is saying, go for it. I'm going to bring it to you in the way you least expect it. I'm going to bring it to you suddenly. I'm going to say, surprise, here it is. You see? And so this positive energy is going on all month. It's on all month. And it really stays on until Jupiter jumps into Virgo in August, because even if they have a wide orb of separation, Uranus and Jupiter, they're still on. And so it's on, baby. It's game on. And this energy is on for you. So you will be given opportunities. You will be given dreams come true. I'm saying balance it out and make sure that it's not a fantasy or you're not being fooled, because it's kind of like looking at the sun. When you look at the sun and you come away and you can't see anything, you got all these spots in your eyes like, oh, I can't see it. It's like that. You can be blinded by the light of the excitement of what's happening and not looking at the details. Okay, so it's kind of like when you go on a job interview, when you've been out of work for a while and you're so excited, they called you in, they're interviewing you, that you forget to interview them. Make sure the choices you're making of what's being offered to you is right for you. Do not forget self-dedication. Be dedicated to yourself. The more dedicated you are to yourself, the more you have to offer others, the more present you are with others. Make sure what's being offered to you is actually something you really want. Okay, so you have all this positive energy being beamed at you, and this is a trine. This grand fire trine off this gorgeous Sagittarius full moon with Jupiter in Leo, Uranus in Aries, the moon in Sagittarius. Well, there's a tail on this kite, and that tail is the Gemini. So Mars coupled with the Sun and Mercury, the tail is pulling it. So what is Gemini? Social, communication, activity, being involved, getting involved, being out there, expressing yourself. So the more involved you get, the more you show up, the more you speak your truth, the more you demonstrate what is right for you, what is true for you, the more this fire energy is going to expand you into the world, into the areas that you so want to go. Now, I go into detail as to where this grand fire trine is taking place in your chart if you go to, again, the June astrology forecast. This full moon is happening for everyone. This energy is on for everyone. It's gorgeous. It's delicious. Eat it up. Just make sure that what's being offered is actually what you want. It resonates with your self-dedication. Now, Jupiter is trining Uranus, and it's on all month It goes exact on the 22nd, but it's on now, and it's going to be on again at the end of the month. I'll talk about it when I come back and do the Gemini New Moon. That will happen on the 16th. That is gorgeous too, and there's no Neptune involved in that one. So there's new beginnings coming in here with everyone, and this is a time to finish up what needs finishing up. A full moon brings things to completion. And Mercury is retrograde, so even if things are coming in now, you want to take action after Mercury moves direct on the 11th, and then that way you're riding the wave and you're not jumping in prematurely. Saturn goes back into Scorpio on June 14th, and this will affect the Scorpios, the Leos, the Taurians, and the Aquarians born in the last 3 days of their sign. I'm one of them. Oh joy, I've been wrestling with Saturn squares since he went into Scorpio October 5th, 2012. I even remember the day. So I have great empathy. I have great empathy if anybody's wrestling with the Neptune. I've been through all of those transits, so I understand how challenging it is. And so, you know, we have these challenges and we learn from them, but this full moon in this month ahead is about you learning from fun. It's about you learning from positive experiences. You can learn from them too. We don't just learn from the negative. We learn from the positive too. And that's what this full moon is. You're going to be learning from the positive energy being poured down on you, down from the heavens, and all month, there's positive energy being beamed at you to inspire you, to uplift you. It's the green card from the cosmos saying, go for it. Green light, go for it. Green card for those coming in to USA, right? Get your green card. And this is the energy to do it. This is uplifting, inspiring. It's about going for it. It's about following your dreams. Your time is now.